Hi there, it's Andrew for Geek News Central. This afternoon we're going to be looking at the wireless vertical ergonomic mouse from Anker. This is it here, and you probably immediately see that it is not like your usual mouse where you would expect to hold the mouse on top. If you like, here's an ordinary mouse. This one here is very much designed to be held kind of within, if you like, a kind of grip like this. The idea being that it keeps your wrist and your arm in much more of a straight line and can hopefully help with conditions like carpal tunnel syndrome or repetitive strain injury. Now, I'm certainly not a doctor. I'm just really kind of showing this to you as an option that you might like to try out should you suffer from any of those conditions, or even if you just get, your wrists and things get a bit tired at the end of the day and you want to try something different. Personally, I'm a fan of trackballs, but let's not stop this review from going ahead. And what I should also say is that this was a personal purchase. This wasn't sent to me for a review or anything like this. I just bought it to try it out. As you can see, it is quite a big mouse, if you like. You can see it in my hand here. There are smaller models available on the market, not from Anker, but from Logitech. So if you do have a smaller hand, check those out. You might also notice that if you are looking online, this is available from a number of different suppliers, and to me, they all look identical. This is the Anker one. I think Trust do a very similar one, if not exactly the same one. So do have a look and buy one from your local supplier or whoever's closest to you. They are reasonably priced, I think. I mean, in America, it's Anker sells it for $29.99. In the UK, they're about £25. There are wired versions as well, so if you want to have a cable coming out of it, look for those. They tend to be about $5 to $10 cheaper. So have a look at that. Personally, I would just stick with the wireless version and be done with it. So much more convenient. Now, it is very easy to use. You do just have a little dongle that you plug into your PC, and there is a nice little spot on the bottom of the mouse for you to store it when it's not in use. It does run off batteries. It are two AAAs, just having a look there, and you can turn it off if there's a little button here, or a little toggle switch if you're not going to be using it for a long time. In use, I found the batteries took months before I had to replace them, so no problems there. As with any mouse, you've got a kind of range of buttons. So you've obviously got your left button, you've got your right button, and you've got your scroll wheel, which also acts as a button. And then under your thumb, there are a couple of buttons that you can be using for page up and page down. You can see them there. One of the little trick it has up its sleeve is that there's an extra button here which you can use to toggle the, if you like, the responsiveness of the mouse. And there's 3 settings. I think it's something like 400, 800 and 1200 DPI. And all that really means is that when you move the mouse, you get a bigger range of motion actually on the screen itself. So it might be useful for gamers, but for me in practice, I never really used that feature at all. There you go. Now, one thing that prompted me just to do this review is that this is really coming to the end of its life. What you can't tell is that this is covered in quite a nice soft rubber. And with these soft rubbers, or anyone who's had one of these for any period of time, you'll know that eventually that this kind of soft rubber becomes a bit icky, a bit sticky, and just becomes kind of unpleasant to use. So that point's been reached with this. I think I've probably had this for about 4 years. I've used it on and off. It definitely wouldn't have been my daily driver. As I said, I prefer trackballs rather than mice, so they're kind of my thing. But I have used it a good bit, and it's performed well, no real complaints. But the time has come to either find a solution to get rid of the stickiness, and there are some solutions on the web if you want to check those out, or you can just get a new mouse, or we can responsibly recycle it. So really that's it. I mean, it's a good mouse. I say it can be a bit big if it suits my hand quite well. I think it does help with the tiredness at the end of the day. It doesn't take too much effort to get used to it compared with an ordinary mouse. Obviously you do notice it's different for a little while, but you do get used to it quickly. So I'd recommend if you do suffer from any of those conditions, or you are concerned about your if you like, your hand and wrist and that kind of stuff, do check them out. As I say, it's not a huge amount of money, and you might like it. So look, I think that just about wraps it up. This is Andrew for Geek News Central and the Anker wireless vertical ergonomic mouse. Thanks very much.